Back in 1945, everyone thought World War II was over. But what if it wasn't? It's the question posed, or I should say, the story that unfolds in Avatar Press's critically acclaimed series, Uber. Here is the box set. Uber. Yes, you get all 5 volumes in trade paperback of the critically acclaimed series. Now, for those of you who aren't like familiar with Uber, it's written by, and forgive me if I mispronounce his name, British author. He's doing a lot of good stuff with the Star Wars trilogy. Carrion Gillen, I think. He had done like, I don't know. The rumor is like 30,000 word Bible of historical research. So in 2008, he started releasing this comic called Uber, and it takes place in 1945. Like the Third Reich, they're getting ready to lose. The Soviets are beating their ass up and down, just like what happened in real life. Hitler's getting ready, he's in the bunker. He's going to kill himself. But then he finds out that this secret research community has created these things called Ubers or Ubermachten. They're like human tanks. They've got agility, super strength. They've got this energy thing called the disruption halo that they can blast out of their eyes and shit. They're like superhumans. So like there's the Panzermesh. My German's really piss poor. That's like the tank class. And there's like tons of those. And then, the series, as it gets going, you get battleship class. There are only a few of those. That's a male and a female. That's Sigmund, Siegfried, and Sieglinde, I think. I don't know. The book, which I'll tell you about in a few minutes. But the Ubers, they start whipping ass. And they save Berlin from the Soviets. And as all this is happening, well, shit. Luckily we got some spies in there. So now the United States, we got to make our own Ubers. The Japanese got to make the Ubers. The Soviets got to make the Ubers. So now the war starts to escalate with Ubers. It's just out of hand. Let's take a look at this first volume, then I'll talk a little more about it. Here we go. Uber Volume 1. As you can see, this is Avatar, and this is not a book for the children. 1945. The war is within days of its end. All of Hitler's mad promises of wonder, weapons, and victory from the ashes have thankfully come to nothing. The world holds its breath, counting seconds until this can all be over. The emergence of Nazi superhumans changes everything. Uber charts this horrific third act for World War II, presenting a dark and uncompromising alternate history with superhumans explored in a way like anything you've never seen. This is Uber Volume 1, so this is 0 through 5 it collects. Let's take a look at this, because this is some nice artwork. Of course, the Iron Cross. And you can see here, it's telling you, we're here now. This is the 24th of April, 2100 hours. Banging on the door, it's one of our soldiers. He's like, I'm the only fully operational military force in the Reich. The guy's like, yeah, don't throw more men in the flames. The war's over. We're finished. And he says, well, that remains to be seen. So now it cuts to many things. Now we're cutting to 5 days later. We're north of Berlin here on the 29th. There's soldiers looking for deserters who are hiding, but doesn't do them too many good. There's a lot of deserters. They're running out. Now, and this is where one of my complaints is, you see the dialogue here and the dialogue here is all the same. And we have the Russians, they're checking everything, like to rape a few girls. This particular guy is a nice guy, so he just breaks the guy's nose, tells him to hide his girl. And here's where we cut to where everything's happening in Austria, right at the border. And here's well, she has different names in the beginning, which you're kind of going to find out. Wilhelm Freya, whatever you want to call it. They just, the professor, Willem. Anyway, she's got these crystals that she's put in people's heads. And, that's how she's trying to make Ubers. You have more soldiers here. They're hiding. They're watching everything. Everything's getting bombed. Here's one of the greatest snipers in the Soviet Union. But like I said, you have to kind of, in the beginning, until you get to know the characters, you have to kind of go by the color of their outfits. And, We see one of the soldiers here. He's just destroying everything. He's this pride and joy of the Third Reich. And they're talking about deserters, and you can see we go back to Austria, and everybody's just fucking dead. You know, she's doing gene experiments. You have to be of a certain type of genetic and gene and blood to be able to be part of the Uber program, or you just die. Here, you know, they're looking, you know, Berlin's pretty much in ruins. And, you know, they've had a little bit of a breakthrough. And we've got another assault coming. And this is the first daylight sighting of a Panzermach, you know, an Uber. There's our sniper. She takes the shot, misses completely. And there we go. There's the first power of the Uber. Everything is just fucking gone, pardon my language. As you can see, there's all the dead people. That she got the tank, everything. You know, she's just going crazy with that, you know, that psionic blast. Here's one of our other Ubers from Germany, just mowing through tanks, destroying everything. And they can create these fields, you know, these big blasts, just starting to turn the tide. They're capturing all these Russians. And turns out, though, that our scientist is actually a secret agent. So she, you know, beats down the old doctor here, stabs him in the old eye, and takes all the plans. And she says, you know, hey, don't disturb anybody, you know. She takes off. And here in the second issue, there's Hitler. He's in there with Ava. He's getting ready to kill himself. He's getting his pill. He knows it's over. He knows he's pretty much fucked. And they tell him, you know, mein Führer, we are delivered. So we go back. You know, here we have the War Room Cabinet in London. You know, everyone's talking, what are they going to do? Now they know there's some Ubers, but they know that their spy has got the intel. As she heads down, she has no problem just rocket launching people to get to escape. She knows how to kill Ubers. She knows one of their weaknesses, which is basically shooting them in the eye. And, you know, the Fuhrer, now he's watching them, and he says he wants some opera. That's his main guy. They have all, these are all the Russian soldiers that they've taken prisoner, and they figure, you know, why feed them, why house them? Launch that Uber blast, just murder all of them. And, you know, that's it. Now, not all the Nazis are starting to agree with Hitler, but, you know, they are doing what they can. And there's some that think, you know, hey, these guys aren't fully ready, and there's some that think they should be in charge. So that kind of all comes down to it. It has a lot, pardon the knowledge there, or the noise. You know, she is still trying to get back to London, tell everybody what's going on. But here's where they're attacked by an Uber, and she figures out, she shows them how to kill it. If you take a bullet, shoot it in the eye, it will disrupt that magnetic flow, and it'll implode them. So they have that plan, but now they're even using the Ubers. They're just on the ground, and they're using their electro field. They're just blowing up our planes. They're blowing up Soviet planes, Russian planes. They're just destroying everything. But, you know, now they know that Stephanie is her name. She's on her way back. She's ready. As you can see, we're in her next issue. And she has all the plans, and they say, you know, okay, here's what we're going to do. You know, she says, this is the catalyst, Wooden's blood. Don't touch this. It'll transform the human. And they're like, well, we're going to start making our own. That's the way it's going to work. You know, will you be part of it? And she says, yeah. And, you know, Hitler, he's a little, like I said, I'm bad with the names. Sankt is, you know, he's one of the people in charge of the Uber soldiers. Hitler's kind of mad that they didn't deploy them first. And, you know, he's kind of basically telling him, you know, you didn't do this for your Germany. You did this for mine. This is my vision. These are my people. I'm Germany. He doesn't want any more from this guy. So he has an Uber that guards him, just melts this guy completely to pieces. And he tells him, you know, I am Germany. He's going to do whatever he can with these. Now we cut back to London. They're starting to experiment on, you know, London troops and our boys. And they have one they make. He's they make their first Uber. They find his, you know, a guy that matches all the genetic results. Hitler there, he sees Paris, and here he is. They put the little crystal in him. You know, he's the only one that's passed this test. But when you do the Uber test, I shouldn't say he's the only one. There's a handful. It takes a few weeks. You have to go through like meditation. You have to go through training. you have to get like different injections, and you find that out when one of the guys here is like, hey, you know, I'm ready, look at this, you know, he's pressing the tank over his head, and she's like, no, no, stop. Well, he's not ready, so it just rips all of his guts, his entrails, he's just friggin' dead. But, you know, that's when they all realize, okay, we better stop this nonsense, and, you know, they're getting ready, but here is, this is Sieglinde, I believe. She is like their pride and joy. She can fucking, pardon my language, do everything. She's like the most powerful Uber in Germany right now. Lift dirt out of the oceans to make bridges and everything. But they've got their Uber, and they're testing him out. And he wants to be called Colossus. And they're, you know, they're shooting him with the, what do you call it? Rockets, you know, from a tank. And he's just like, he's good. He knows he's ready. And he says, you know, we're going to go out there. I'm Colossus. We're going to clean house. I'm going to stop this broad. Everything's going to be done. Now, you know, Hitler's got his guys. They're all armored up. A little bit better precautions, I should say. But, you know, they're ready. They want the girl. She's out there. She's just Sieglinde. Forgive me for saying her name wrong. You know, she's out there. Here comes all the troops. They're taking the bait. They're gonna stop her. He's ready. He's Colossus. He's gonna do his damage. She goes for her electromagnetic pulse to start basically frying everyone. As I get closer to the end, I have to hold a little different. And he says, nope, that ain't gonna happen. He comes out and he cracks her one. He's beating her ass. He's got her in the chokehold. But yeah, she just grabs his arms, rips him clean off, and uses her eyesight of death to just kill him. That's the end of Colossus. There's your big hero, Patrick O'Connor. First battleship class casualty killed in action. And after she takes care of him, she takes care of the rest of the town, leaving it in utter ruin, like everybody. And, you know, back in London, nope, not yet. So now we have our gallery. Beautiful artwork in this. The artwork is just stunning. Like you can see, not for the kids, very graphic, very bloody, lots of bad words in there that I kind of glazed over. Just good. This is just a beautiful book, and you know, more is going to happen, but this is book 1. Let's go talk about it. Yeah, this was like highly critically acclaimed. You know, this is the whole set. Will there be more? You know, I'd like to think so. Avatar Press, no one's heard any word from them in a while. I mean, they're still in publication, or business, I should say, but they just seem to be releasing tons and tons of reprints and books. That's how you can get this. If you want to read all the volumes, this is everything here. Just get the Uber box set. It came out a little while ago, but you can still get it. Have your comic shop order it. Look on Amazon. Not too hard to find. As you can see by looking at it, it's amazing art, and as it's Avatar, it's graphic, as you could see, but it's really good. And you know, the story we saw, of course, it's going to unfold more, but don't worry. That's why I'm going to come back with Uber Volume 2 review. So this was really good. This is a very well written, very well thought out book. Artwork is amazing. It's a really good story. It kind of hooks you right from the beginning. The only complaint I have is, like, when the Germans are talking and the British are talking and the Americans are talking, Japanese are talking, the Russians are talking, there's no, like, anything in the dialogue. Like, I'm not saying do it any different, but maybe for the Germans, put a little gimmick, triangle gimmick before the words. Maybe the British people get the square box gimmick. I'm sorry, it's been many years since I took English. Maybe make the dialogue, at least like when you read Deadpool and he's talking to the character himself or you, everything in the dialogue box is drawn a little bit differently. They're just different fonts, different letters. Sometimes it can be slightly, I don't want to say confusing, but it's like, shit, who am I reading about again? Oh, okay, they got the black suit. That's the German. Oh, okay, the brown suit. I would have liked to have seen them do a little different on that. But once you... That was the first few issues that was my kind of hang up, but after that I got really used to it. But this is pretty much a story that's, I mean, of course it's not historically accurate. We don't have Ubers, but just think if we did. This is a really good book. I hope you like this overview of part 1. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in about another week with Uber 2, but I'll see you tomorrow with something else.